All right, man who sexually assaulted Tickle Me Elmo wants charges dropped. A Michigan man who sexually assaulted a Tickle Me Elmo doll during a home inspection wants his charges dropped. Kevin Van Leuven, 59, was charged earlier this month with an indecent act with the stuffed doll, has requested that a judge ignore his verbal and written confessions to police, which came after cops were called to a home in suburban Detroit in March, reported the smoking gun. He claims he was improperly questioned while in police custody. On March 12th, Van Leuven was conducting a home inspection for a potential buyer. 2 days later, the homeowner, Jada Dodson, checked out her home security cameras remotely to see how the inspection was going and was horrified to see him allegedly remove Elmo from her son's bedroom and do the dirty with the doll. Van Leuven allegedly unzipped his pants and began masturbating in our son's closet with Tickle Me Elmo. Dodson testified at a recent court hearing, according to the website. Dodson called 911. Police arrived at her home, and the responding officer, Deputy Patrick Jens, recalled she believed that a home inspector was pleasing himself with a doll, I believe, stated the court transcript. Jens questioned Van Leuven after showing him the home surveillance footage, and Van Leuven admitted to placing his penis in Elmo's mouth in the doll's mouth. Jens added that Van Leuven apologized and ashamed of his actions. The deputy testified that the evidence was seized from the home, saying in court, "We collected Elmo and took Elmo in." Van Leuven has been charged with aggravated indecent exposure and malicious destruction of personal property. I mean, he didn't destroy it, though. I kind of did, I guess. He spent more than 5 weeks in jail for the misdemeanors before posting bond. Dodson and her family have relocated to Springfield, Missouri, presumably without Elmo. Van Leuven's hearing is to suppress is scheduled for August 17th.
To be fair, it was a French Tickle Me Elmo.
I mean, this is just revenge for all the stuff Elmo did to people. Just get him back.
I mean, this is definitely weird, but like, 5 weeks in jail? Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Well, he's waiting for trial.
It seems like this might be a little extreme.
I mean, look, if it was my kid, I'd be freaked out too, because like it's so like adjacent to the child, you know, it's so weird. Like,
yeah, you should definitely have something on your record that like people are gonna see.
What are you in for?
Yeah, he spent 5 weeks before posting bond, so I mean, I guess 5 weeks is enough to learn your lesson, but he didn't. He's saying he wants to get this wiped from his record.
I'm sure he does.
Shouldn't have talked to the police, buddy.
It's so easy to like go home and jack off.
He's like, Elmo was laughing. He was into it.
You know how hard it is to get a Tickle Me Elmo?
It's a weird fetish.
Yeah, man. All right, that's my topic.
I mean, months ago, you told us a story of a guy that got caught in like a Target, like fucking stuffed animals.
Yeah,
so like, it apparently like is a thing for some people. I mean, there are furries, so I guess it kind of makes sense that there'd be people into it, but God,
but these are like miniature animals, you know. Like at least with a furry, it's a person in a costume, but like a tiny animal, that's so weird, you know.
Psychologically, I don't know how you get over the furry, because I'd only be thinking that like fucking, you know, Trump is like inside it or something, and like you don't know who you're fucking. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's the whole point, though. Like, just pretend it's the animal, which is weirder.
The animal is basically just like a moving glory hole.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't. I never get past it. You don't know what the fuck's there.
Although
Same
you know,
with the glory holes. Like, how do people do glory holes?
Like, I'd be so intrigued by like what's on the other side of this. Like, I have to see what's on the other side of this.
you know, it's a guy on the other
Trucker, a trucker who's just sucking dick.
I mean, if you're that dedicated to sucking dick, you're probably pretty good at it, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you just suck random dick.
side. Did you ever hear like Ron White tell that story about like when he was younger? Like
yeah,
he used to always go to like this like one street that had prostitutes on, and he said he'd always like buy like blowjobs, and they were like really cheap, so he like always went there. And then like years and years later, he found out that place was like notoriously famous for like transvestite hookers. So he's like, I for sure had like a bunch of guys suck my
dick. Shaky.
Never trust a good deal.
Although, you know, with the whole furry thing, like, it might help my chances if I'm like an adorable like puppy dog instead of myself. I might have to go down this route.
How about I get you both costumes? You go to the same party, and then it's Russian roulette. You won't know who's who.
You got to sign up to be the catcher. Like, you kind of got to.